Good morning, everyone. This is Gilles. It is March 31st, Tuesday. I trust you're doing well. I wanted to say a few words again today. I've been doing this for 4 or 5 days now. A chance of connecting visually. I mean, the words are important, of course, to some extent, but I think the visual also is very important. And what I was thinking of this morning, and possibly a bit last night, is this sense of normalcy, normalcy, and the way we live our lives now. Some things have changed, and some maybe didn't change for many people. I was looking at our neighbor across the street this morning. He's an older man. I don't know exactly how old he is, but he has white hair. He has difficulty walking. At least he walks pretty slowly. And he left this morning around 7:30, and he got into his car. He had his lunchbox. He works in a hospital, but he's not one of these healthcare workers. He works in, he's an engineer. So I think he works in maintenance and takes care of the buildings or the equipment. I don't know exactly. I haven't talked to him very often, so I don't know all the details. But to him, it seems like his sense of normalcy is still very normal, if I can use this word. And that's just the way it is, our normalcy is different these days. And that's what I'm saying, it's important to adapt, possibly to create some routines, I don't know, especially for the kids that are no longer going to school. And one thing we did yesterday, we went out. It was a very beautiful day. We went out to a sound school, which is about, no more than 10 minutes walking. It was very quiet. There was, a few people walking, but no students, no staff members. And one of the first thing I noticed when I raised my head is the blue sky. And there was a very different quality to this blueness of the sky. I could tell. It's like the word that came to mind is a French word, azur, A-Z-U-R, maybe an English word as well. But I could tell there was much more purity, definitely much more purity in the sky. But there was something else, something else. Maybe the sky has been, because of the lack of air traffic, has been returned to some sort of a pristine, quality or a pristine condition, which we haven't known for, years, decades, centuries, maybe. There's fewer cars on the ground, on the roads, and in the planes. There's in the air. There's very, very few planes as well. We live very close to Dulles airports, and still, I think yesterday in about 45 minutes, we saw only one plane around, I guess. And this is part of the normalcy we need. This is part of the purity we deserve, and obviously when I talk about purity, I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about the personal level. I don't know if we're going to purify within the same way the sky is being purified. There's no flying objects in the sky anymore, any longer. And, what would be the equivalent for us? No more flying objects coming within. And that was my thought. We had a very enjoyable time, and then we came back to the house. We did a bit of work, cutting a few things here and there. And then, very naturally, our son started playing hide and seek. And it was interesting because I was looking for him. I didn't know where he was. And he was playing in his mind, and I wasn't yet. I was more concerned about what had happened to him. And, soon enough, I mean, I understood that he was playing and it was a game of hide and seek, and we started playing, and the neighbors who had two young girls next door, they started joining. And it's interesting. This is what I call normalcy. There's a normalcy in children, you know. They have a very natural rhythm of playing, for sure, of just being, which we don't feel as normal because we've grown, you know, supposedly into mature beings. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe there's a, you know, there's a purity of the sky and the innocence of the child that we need to recover or to get back to. And that's what I've been thinking lately. You know, the thoughts come very differently every morning. Usually I do this video around, you know, close to 8 o'clock. So there's some already some normalcy, you know, into my life. And this morning I was talking about the cards. I was just show you one card, which has to do with the sky. And this is the 10 of Cups. I don't know if you can see it. The 10 of Cups, there's a rainbow. The rainbow, and within the rainbow, there's 10 cups. And, you know, 10 is the highest number in the minor arcana. So it goes from ace to 10. And the sky is blue, but not as blue as the one I saw yesterday. And so there's a feeling of, again, purity, normalcy, if you want. You know, a feeling of being different, and we don't know how different we're going to be and we're going to feel once everything goes back to some sort of a, I don't know if I would call it yesterday's routine, but it's going to go back to you know, a more normal life, the life as we knew it. But something would have changed very drastically in the depth of life. That's undoubtedly. And you know, it's really up to us to apprehend, you know, to put our finger on what it is that is going to change, that is changing now. There's something which is very intangible. We can't really touch it with our fingers. It's a quality of life that is changing, that is morphing into something else. And you know what it is, it's hard to define. I think there may not be a need for words, but I mean, something is moving. Maybe just an energy around us, which is shifting, which is transforming, which is morphing into something else. And we'll find out. I would think, I don't know, but maybe before the end of the year, you know. Again, the French woman I was listening to 2 days ago said, you know, 2020 will be a year to remember. You know, there will be life before 2020 and life after 2020. So it makes sense, you know, it makes sense. And we are in the middle of the, I don't know if it's a shift, but you know, we're in the middle of this, I would call morphogenesis. You know, something is at a deeper level, something is really moving, and that's the way life is. You know, when it comes to what I call normalcy, maybe our normalcy will be affected. I don't know how and to what extent, but it's what I wanted to share today. So I wish you well. I wish you a good Tuesday. This is the last day of March, so I don't know what it means, but tomorrow is April 1st, and there's supposedly a lot of April Fools on April 1st. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we'll find out. So I wish you a beautiful day, and I love you very much.